Mercedes have won the last 6 Drivers' and Constructors' Championship crowns and looked the quickest team in preseason testing, and now Mercedes have fired another warning shot to those looking to dethrone them this year as it confirmed a slew of car upgrades for Race 1 in Austria. What's up guys, Formula News here, and first up on today's episode, Mercedes fire warning shots to rivals. The Silver Arrows clocked both the fastest time and the most laps of any team during testing in Barcelona back in February, whilst also unveiling the innovative new DAS device, and we had them pegged as 2020 favorites as a result. And though the COVID-19 pandemic has caused delays and an early introduction of the annual F1 factory shutdown, Mercedes technical chief James Allison revealed in a video that the team has still made significant progress in refining the W11 since we last saw it turn a wheel. But with all teams now returning to work and preparing for a run of 8 Grand Prix in 10 weeks, Mercedes' attention has returned to adding developments to the car it hopes will deliver a 7th straight set of championships this year. Allison said that while the team had been forced to suspend work during the shutdown period, plenty of work had gone into developments for the W11 car where possible. The team is now aiming to bring these upgrades to Austria for the start of the season. Reigning champion Lewis Hamilton and teammate Valtteri Bottas got back up to speed last week by testing a 2018 spec Silver Arrow at Silverstone. That was all part of the meticulous preparations the world champions are going through to stay at the top of the pile. Given the economic realities during the pandemic, F1 smaller teams are unlikely to enjoy the same luxury in terms of upgrades. Haas, which will not have any test or shakedown of its 2020 car ahead of the first practice session in Austria, is not committing to any upgrades until budgets have been signed off. F1 has an 8-race schedule confirmed and is working on finalizing it with races outside of Europe. The series expects to have 15 to 18 races by the time it is finalized. Allison said that while he thought the long break from racing will have a greater toll on the drivers than the rest of the Mercedes team, there was little doubt both Hamilton and Bottas were well prepared for the new season to begin. Next up, why is McLaren considering a partial sale of their F1 team? We talked about how McLaren is considering selling a small part of their team for extra money in the last episode. If you haven't watched that last episode, then click in the top right corner and go check that out before you continue watching this. Anyways, let's see why McLaren wants to sell a small portion of their team. Having risen to the head of the midfield with an impressively dodged campaign in 2019, this is the next step in their revival strategy. McLaren is in the midst of a rebuild as they look to evolve the racing business into an efficient team that can once again challenge for the top honors. The staffing structure, led by Andreas Seidel, is now in place, while Mercedes' power will be in the back of the car from next year. This potential extra investment, should they find an investor and decide to push ahead with such a sale, is the next stage in the rebuilding process. And the new budget cap coming in next year, set at $145 million before dropping to $140 in 2022 and $135 million in 2023, offers a team a unique opportunity to get back to the winning ways they were used to for so much of their history. New investment could ensure that they have the funding to hit the budget cap limit, thus putting them back on par with the big three, Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, who will need to come down to that figure and change their organizations and the way they operate accordingly. The plan, as it is understood, is to raise funds specifically for the F1 operation so they can take that next step, efficiently use the extra resources to close the gap and become a world championship contending team once again. This is a difficult time for all businesses, Formula 1 teams included, as the world continues to fight the coronavirus pandemic and has severely restricted normal life. The F1 season is set to resume next month, but with a reduced calendar, which is likely to reduce the sport's income, which in turn will reduce the amount of money each team receives from commercial rights holder. It was revealed last month Now the McLaren Group, of which McLaren Racing is part, is set to make around 1,200 employees redundant across the technology, automotive, and racing businesses in response to the impact of the pandemic and the implementation of the new budget cap. As it stands, the McLaren Group has multiple shareholders, including Bahrain's Mumtalakat Holding Company, the TAG Group led by Saudi-born businessman and Canadian businessman Michael Latifi, father of Williams driver Nicholas Latifi. But by exploring the possibility of selling a stake in the F1 team now, McLaren is giving themselves the time to potentially use those resources to help them take advantage of the reduced budget cap and also the new technical regulations which comes into force in 2022. And that's been today's video. If you don't want to miss out on any Formula 1 news, then please hit that like and subscribe button for more top-notch F1 reports and insights. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you have an awesome day, and until next time, goodbye.